Hey everybody! In today's tutorial, I am hosting the Inspiration Challenge at Splitcoaststampers this week, and I picked one of my favorite artists, Kathleen McElwaine, for my inspiration. So we're going to do a fun and easy watercolor project today. Now I have the In the Meadow stamp set with the little deer image set up on my mini MISTI. And I'm going to stamp it in So Saffron ink, just a very pale yellow ink so that I can do no line watercolor for the first step. Kathleen is an amazing local watercolor artist that is known for her paintings of longhorns. Oh, and my nail polish, by the way, this was a gift from my friend Jossie from bossyjossie.com, where I get my custom stamps. It's called Coral Blossom, and I thought it was very Eastery. But anyway, Kathleen does these beautiful local scenes of bluebonnets and longhorns, and she has such a fun, loose style that I thought I would use it for the challenge today. She does animals frequently, and it's very easy for her to give the form of an animal. She is talented with drawing. She goes from some kind of ultra realistic portraits that she does for people of their pets, etc., to these more abstract images like her longhorn images that are just form and color and they're beautiful. She has a real whimsy about her style, and one of the ways that she brings that whimsy into her art is when she's done with her watercolor, or maybe she does it before, I actually don't know. She will do these very sketchy, loose ink lines around her image. Now, since I cannot draw to save my life, starting with a stamp is the only way that I could sort of get close to her very whimsical, sweet style. So that's why I chose these little deer. And we'll see if I can pull it off. I'm just doing this on camera. I haven't done it before, so it might be terrible. But what I wanted to do with the color here is distinguish the fawn from the mother deer, from the little doe, by making him lighter. So she's in the background and she's going to be a little bit darker. If you have white-tailed deer where you are, then you know that the adults and the babies are a slightly different color. And the baby color allows the mom to hide the deer, the little baby deer, while they go eat, and they just blend into the grasses, which of course in Texas are usually light brown because it never rains. And the moms have a little bit more definition to their color. In Texas, our deer are really kind of a grayish brown. I'm giving them a little more sort of northern color than they actually have in the state. And that is because the other thing that I love about Kathleen's work is that she uses a very warm color palette, which is totally different from my normal color palette. And I think it's one of the reasons that I'm drawn to her work. So I'm trying to sort of warm this up and give it some of those beautiful longhorn colors that she uses. So again, having the mother deer also be darker than the fawn lets the shape of the fawn, since he's overlapping that image, lets the shape of his head stay intact for me so that I can go back and do the little sketchy ink lines. So I will add a little grass because we do not have levitating deer here in Texas. They have to be on the ground. And I'm just using an olive green. This koi travel set is so easy and fun just to pull out whenever. I love all watercolors equally, though. I don't mean to imply that I don't love my others just as much. But that's it. So you can see how loose the watercolor is, and it took 4 minutes to watercolor that image. And what I need to do now is just make sure that it's completely dry before I add the sketchy ink lines. So I'll do that with my heat gun, and I'm holding it a little bit farther back because there is a tiny bit of pooled water both in the grass and on the mama deer. And I don't want to push the color around. I just want to dry that up because I sort of like where it is now. I feel like I'm nowhere near the artist that Kathleen is, but I think I got some mimicking of her style with the way that color went down, and I don't want to move it. So once that's all dry, I actually really like it just like it is, but I think this next part is really fun. So this is a 0.25 Copic multi-liner. I really like the really fine ones. Some people are good with the thicker nibs, but I just really don't get, I don't know, my drawing style is just terrible, and so I don't get good results with the thicker ones. So I'm deliberately making these lines very uneven. This is not drawing in a technical sense. I'm just making wiggly little lines that are similar to Kathleen's. I think it just adds a fun and a lightness to the image that the image doesn't actually otherwise have. It is kind of a serene and peaceful image, and the little sketchy lines give it kind of a cuteness, almost a cartoony look that I think is so much fun. And it sort of makes it seem like I could draw a deer, which I never could do in real life. It would end up looking completely ridiculous. I envy all you stamp artists who design images for a living. It's definitely not my spiritual gift. So that's it. I'll darken up the inside of their ears just a little bit. But now you can see sort of the look that I was going for. And you can see some of Kathleen's images as well, just for comparison. And I hope that you all join us at the Inspiration Challenge this week. I'm filling in for our normal host, Audrey. And I hope you can find some inspiration from Kathleen's work, as I have. Thanks for watching.